Carolina, really a rite of passage for any Republican who would like to be president. Since 1980, as I mentioned, no Republican has won the party's nomination without winning the South Carolina primary. And now we are down to less than 17 hours until the polls open. I want to welcome Chad Connelly, chairman of the South Carolina Republican Party, who has not gotten a lot of sleep lately. Very exciting in your state. I know, Chad, you say, so many people say, you know, we pick president. South Carolina picks president. So got to put you on the spot. Who are you picking tomorrow?
Hey, Brooke, thanks for having me. I'm glad to be with you. And look, I'm not a really good predictor or prognosticator. I thought my Clemson Tigers would do better in the Orange Bowl, and I think West Virginia still scored again. But so I don't pick them very well. I do think it's going to come down to an exciting, close finish. I tried to tell folks in the last 10 days, you can't put this in a box. This race here in South Carolina it's a different animal, and I think we've proven that to be true once again.
All right, so you're the chief of your state's Republican Party there. Who are you voting for? Got to ask again.
Well, I haven't told that to anybody else. I hadn't even told my wife yet, although she's got a pretty good hint, I think. But look, I think all our candidates are so much better than what we have in the White House right now. And it's just exciting for our state to see this going on. And I see the satellite trucks outside the State House. We were at the CNN debate in Charleston last night. Of course, the debate Monday night. It's just been a really big deal for our state. And we're in a coveted spot of getting to pick the person who could be the next president of the United States.
All right. Well, if you haven't told your wife, I won't push you any further. But it sounds like you have decided on who you're choosing, and you are like a lot of other South Carolinians. It's only something like the most recent poll, 8% of South Carolinians have yet to decide. It's quite the difference. When I remember Iowa was 41% the day before the caucuses there. Why is that? Why are people so decisive in your state, and why is it such an indicator, it seems, historically speaking, that you pick the president?
Well, you know, I think it's got a lot to do with all the promotion that all you folks in the media have helped us do. I turned on the Iowa caucuses a few weeks ago, and everybody was talking about South Carolina, and then the New Hampshire primary, and everybody on all the networks, all the cable shows were talking about our state and how decisive we are. And look, we're fiercely independent people. We got a good blend of the Republican Party base, and our folks really expect to meet these candidates. And we've had, you know, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8 of them running around the state getting to meet people. So I think the undecided numbers have dwindled because there's been an awful lot of promotion. The candidates know that we've picked the right nominee for 30 years. That's a pretty good pattern. And so folks want to fit into that, and they want to be a part of something exciting, you know?
Speaking of promotion, Chad Connelly, you watch the commercials in South Carolina. You have, you know, the candidates, these PACs all together. They've spent something like $50 million, and it isn't all nice. You were there for the debate. I mean, a lot of people talking about the Newt Gingrich ex-wife interview, her allegations that he wanted an open marriage. You know, you're talking to people in your state. I just talked to Don Lemon, who said people don't seem to really care in South Carolina about that. But when it comes to things getting ugly, do South Carolinians care? Will that change a vote?
Well, you know, I tell you, I've watched this a long time, Brooke, and this is a primary. It's a backyard brawl. The gloves come off, and you tumble in the mud. I don't think it's atypical. In fact, I got to tell you the truth. I think this year's kind of tame compared to years past. It seems like, I remember as a young man watching Reagan and Bush in 1980, and when Bush did the whole voodoo economics thing, I remember thinking, they'll never speak, they'll never be friends, and lo and behold, they become running mates just a few months later. So I think it's kind of the nature of the beast, and people are used to it, and they kind of expect all those things to come out in the primary fight, so it gets vetted and questions gets asked and answered.
That's interesting you say that. I've heard that as well, that the dirty tricks aren't quite as dirty this go round. I do want to end with this. I was watching one of the routers. I was watching Stephen Colbert, you know, his rally today in Charleston. Yeah. In fact, I don't know if you saw this. He actually gave you a shout out. He said, hey, Chad Connelly, that your check's in the mail. You know, look, a lot of critics say he's there. He's mocking the process, talking about just all the money that goes into, you know, picking a president. What do you make of him and what he's doing there with Herman Cain? You find this funny?
Well, you know, I went up and met with Stephen as a potential donor, and it just wasn't a good fit. And I texted him this morning after he was on the show and said, good job. And he texted me back. And so I knew he was going to kind of do something. But, you know, he's going to bring some voters out that probably don't vote. They're probably independents, maybe even some liberals that watch his show and don't normally vote in a Republican primary. Anytime we get more people out voting, that's a good thing, Brooke. But it also is going to build our list, because we're going to add some names to our list that we'll be able to contact and give our message to over the next several years. So, you know, Stephen's going to have fun. He's a good guy, and I know he's going to have an incredible time playing Herman Cain the next couple days.
Even if they're coming to the polls tomorrow voting for Herman Cain, the non-candidate, doesn't matter to you?
I don't think it matters. I think he's having fun. He's kind of an entertainer, and like I said, it's going to add to our voting rolls. And those folks, you know, they can't go vote in a Democratic primary. They can't help organize a Democrat precinct. So if the Democrats are trying to use that to build their party, that's going to backfire because those folks are going to be on our voting rolls, and we can contact them through mail or phones or whatever in the coming months and years.
Chad Connelly, tomorrow in your state will be very exciting. We will all be watching.